Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the news briefing this September 17th, 2025. When you think about a pop-up shop, you usually think about an unusual shopping opportunity in an unusual place. Well, that is exactly what our county assessor Clerk-Recorder is doing next month in partnership with the Secretary of State's office. The merchandise at this pop-up shop is an apostille, and we're very pleased to have our Assessor County Clerk Recorder, Marina Camacho, here, along with Shernee Tousant with the Secretary of State's office. Ladies, thanks for joining us on the briefing.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Marina. Would you like to get started for us today?
Yes, I would. Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having us here. We're very excited to actually bring this information to the general public, and my office has the pleasure of actually working in collaboration with Dr. Shirley Weber and the Secretary of State of California, her staff, Harnell College, and the rest, and to bring this shop to the Monterey County as a whole. We are excited to bring the Apostille Pop Up shop locally and be able to save the public money, travel time, and to get access to these services of the Secretary of State and take advantage of this apostille opportunity. We are very lucky to have with us, as may I introduce Shernee Tousant from the Secretary of State, who will be here available to answer specific questions about the services that they will provide. I will give you a little general overview. I have a little PowerPoint. This information that we will be presenting will give the public an opportunity to prepare and obtain the necessary documents, whether they're original or certified copies, to have them prepared and ready and available to come and take advantage of this opportunity on October 1st. So if you know someone that could benefit from this wonderful service, please pass on the good word. We're hoping to serve a large number of the community that could save them, like I said, time and travel and money, because I think the nearest location is in Sacramento, which is about 3 hours away, and then I believe there's one more in LA, which is even further. So having them here locally definitely saves people some time and hopefully a little bit time for planning. I will go ahead and repeat this in Spanish. Muy buenas tardes a todos los miembros. Mi nombre es Marina Camacho. Soy la tasadora, secretaria y gerente de registros. Mi oficina tiene el placer y el honor de la gran satisfacción de colaborar con la doctora Shirley Weber y la secretaria del Estado de California, su personal y el Colegio Harnell, para brindar esta gran oportunidad a los residentes del condado de Monterey y también a los afueras del condado. Estamos muy entusiasmados al traer este evento de apostillas a nivel local y poder ahorrarle al público dinero, tiempo y evitar tener que viajar 3 horas a Sacramento o más a Los Ángeles y aprovechar este servicio de apostilla. Tenemos la gran suerte de contar con Shernee Tousant de la Secretaría del Estado para ayudar con preguntas más específicas de los servicios. Esta información le brinda tiempo para obtener documentos originales o copias certificadas que necesiten apostillamiento. Si conoce a alguien que pueda brindar este servicio, por favor, comparta la información. Estamos esperando y anticipar de servir a la comunidad en grande. So I would like to share my screen. Mia, can I just go ahead and share it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
There, I see it.
Okay. All right. All right. So, as I said, we're in partnership with the Secretary of State, Harnell, and Harnell College to bring these services. These are the two actual flyers that we have out to the public, and I believe they went out on the 5th of September on the social media, and now today with you on bringing it forward. What's an apostille? ¿Qué es una apostilla y cuál es su propósito, and what is its purpose? An apostille is a certificate that authenticates the signature and seals of officials on original and certified public documents. Una apostilla es un certificado que autentica las firmas y sellos de funcionarios en documentos públicos, originales y certificados. This is not a common, I guess, a common service that people are normally aware of. So this is really important information, and it'll probably be new to some people, but not new to some, especially given the climate that we are in for the general public that may have to relocate, and they have minor children that they may have to take to out of the country and may have to go to enrollment in school, and they need official documents to verify who they are. Estos documentos, propósito de esta información de apostillar no es algo en común que todos tengamos conocimiento, pero en este clima que estamos hay muchas personas que tienen la necesidad de relocarse a otro país, necesitan documentos para autenticar la identificación, especialmente si tienen hijos menores que los quieren inscribir en las escuelas. Y esta es una oportunidad para hacer eso. Okay. So some of the reasons when an apostille may be necessary, algunas de las razones por las que puede ser necesaria una apostilla, various legal matters like diversos asuntos legales como international business transactions, transacciones comerciales internacionales, probate matters in foreign countries, asuntos sucesorios en países extranjeros, property matters in foreign countries, asuntos de propiedad en países extranjeros, class enrollment abroad, as I mentioned, inscripciones en clases fuera del país, adopciones internacionales, international adoptions, to just name a few. Common types of documents, tipos comunes de documentos que pueden utilizar para ser apostillados. Birth, death, and marriage certificates, certificados de nacimiento, difunción y matrimonio. Divorce decrees and judgments, sentencias y decretos de divorcio. Notarized documents, documentos notariados. Education diplomas and transcripts, diplomas educativos. Corporate documents such as articles of incorporation, documentos corporativos como estatus sociales, and there's various others as I mentioned. Hay variables documentos también, no se limitan a estos. Where can I get copies of vital records? These are some of the most, like I mentioned, some of the most common type of documents. Donde puedo obtener copias de registros vitales y documentos registrados. Copies of birth and death can be obtained from the county where the event took place, and copies of marriage certificate can be obtained where the license was purchased. For events that took place in Monterey County, copies can be obtained online at the website noted below.
Marina, can you advance your slides? I think that's okay. That way people can see the website that you're referring to.
Can you see it now?
We're still on the apostille documents.
Okay.
Or reasons an apostille may be necessary. I think you want to advance 2 slides.
Can you see it now?
Same slide.
Oh, I don't know, because I can see it moving on my end.
Well, then let's just continue, because this is really good information.
Okay. I can pass you the PowerPoint after we're done too, if you would like.
Fantastic.
Okay. Copias de certificados de nacimiento o de difunción se pueden obtener en el condado donde ocurrió el evento. Copias de certificados de matrimonio se pueden obtener del condado donde se obtuvo la licencia. Para los eventos ocurridos en este condado, copias pueden obtenerse a través del website y voy a enviar la información a Mea cuando termino. For recorded documents such as property titles, we have a website link on, as I noted below, but I guess you can't see it. Para documentos que se fueron archivados como títulos de propiedad, puede utilizar el enlace abajo tenemos un website en la oficina del archivos. For questions relating to the recorded documents, you can contact the recorder's office at 831-755-5041. Para copias de documentos que han sido registrados o archivados, puede ponerse en contacto con la oficina de archivos al 831-755-5041 o puede venir en la oficina en persona al 168 West Alizal en el piso número 1. Or you can come in person and obtain those copies at 168 West Alizal here in Salinas. Questions regarding vital records, you can also call the recorder's office at the same information, and we'll be able to help you there. So you're still seeing the same document, the same slide?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So maybe I'll just stop sharing. Let me try to share again to see if it comes up.
Great idea.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes. What do I need to bring? Perfect.
Yeah, that's where I was going. What do I need to bring? ¿Qué necesito traer? Original or certified copies of the documents to be authenticated with a valid ID. Una copia original o certificada de los documentos que requiere autenticar y una identidad vigente. Una forma de identidad vigente. A complete Apostille Pop Up cover sheet, but we will have them available there on site as well. La copia de la forma de la apostilla la tendremos disponible en el día del evento también, si no la puede obtener. The forms of payment that will be accepted are Visa, MasterCard, check, or money order. No cash will be accepted. Forma de pago será en Visa, MasterCard, un cheque o money order. Un giro, no se aceptará dinero en efectivo. El costo es $20 por cada apostillo y $6 para cada firma oficial que se debe de autenticar. So $20 for each apostille and $6 for each signature that needs to be authenticated. And where is it going to take place? It'll take place at Hartnell College at 411 Central Avenue. At the Student Center, Steinbeck Hall, and the cost for parking is $2. And then parking will be available on structure number 1 off of Central Avenue. El Colegio Hartnell está ubicado en donde se tomará el evento, el efecto, el centro estudiantil, la sala Steinbeck Hall. El costo para el estacionamiento serán $2. La estructura número 1 será donde está disponible para su estacionamiento. Here's a map of the location, un mapa donde está la estructura de este estacionamiento. And if you have any questions, my name is Marina Camacho, and I'm the Assessor Clerk-Recorder. Phone number, that's my direct line, or you can fax. And I will let me see. I will stop sharing. And I will let Shernee maybe fill in anything that I may have missed that may be important to the public to know about this wonderful event.
Thank you. No, I think you covered everything pretty well. What I would like to say, though, is just be mindful that we can only apostille California issued documents. So documents are the vital records and notarized documents from California. So we do not apostille federal documents. If you have a federal document, such as when you become a citizen, those are gifts often people bring for apostille. That has to go to the U.S. State Department. So just be mindful that, again, anything federal, we will not be able to do.
Thank you. I do have one more thing.
Yeah,
that I
and
wanted to
Shernee
mention.
also mentioned something about the pay, the payment. There are additional payment options. And Marina, I didn't know if you were going to mention that, but Shernee also indicated that they would accept Apple Pay and Google Pay
Oh.
at the event.
Okay. También aceptará forma de pago de Apple Pay or Google Pay. I did want to mention, though, one more thing that I failed to put on my slide is we will have notary service available there in case that anybody needs their documents notarized at that point in time, and it's free of cost. También tendremos servicios notarios disponible y no habrá costo por estos, la notaría si necesita sus documentos notarizados en ese momento. Así es que tomen esta oportunidad para obtener sus documentos y tenerlos disponibles. Please take this opportunity if you need this, if this service will benefit you, to gather your documents and have them ready for the date of the event so that we can go fast and get you service and meet your customer service needs in conjunction with the Secretary of State and the Assessor Clerk-Recorder. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Yeah, ladies, thank you so much for taking the time to explain what this is, because the apostille is not a familiar term or document that most people would know about. And I did get a question about, you explained that how an apostille would be used, but if the question was, if someone has this official document, why would they need an authentication of what is already an official document?
The apostille process is a legalization process, and it used to be a very intensive, labor-intensive process. So when the Hague got together, they came up with a way to kind of simplify the legalization process. So historically, if you needed to use a document in another country, you'd have to go through a series of steps, maybe contacting a notary, then going to the Superior Court. Then, there was just a whole bunch of steps so that that document is accepted by the government of whatever country it's going to. So the Hague kind of got together. There are about 150, maybe 175 countries around the world that are parties to the Hague. Some are not, but even those that are not are required to accept this new process, which is a single certificate. So we attach the apostille, that single certificate, to a document authenticating that this is a legitimate document issued in the United States.
Thank you. And then another question: have you seen in Sacramento? Have you seen an uptick in inquiries about getting apostilles for documents?
Absolutely, we have. We've seen an uptick everywhere. So the pop-up shops have gotten larger and greater. We are doing more numbers in Sacramento and both LA. So in Sacramento, we do about 200 to 200, maybe 250 customers a day. In the LA office, they do upwards of maybe 400 customers a day. One of our first pop-up shops was in San Diego. And the first time we went there, we did about maybe 400 customers. And the last time we were in San Diego, we did over 800 customers. So the service is definitely picking up, and people are finding out about it, and definitely, getting the service, and we're glad to provide that to the public.
And then Marina, the same question to you. Has your office gotten inquiries about an apostille before this event got put together?
Yeah, we did on the recorder side for vital records when they're dealing with property, especially if the property owner owns the property here and they pass away in a foreign country and they're sending their death certificate for, whether it's through the probate process or, depending on the method of holding title. And that's one of the times that we have heard. Also, I think for birth certificates as well. But it hasn't been as busy as it is today. Probably not, but we have seen it because property ownership goes back way back.
So in this case, Shernee, people don't have to go to Sacramento or Los Angeles because we've got the pop-up event here. People locally can, they don't have to drive 3 hours or 5 hours, depending on which direction. Do you anticipate the Secretary of State's office doing more pop-up events throughout the state over the next, let's say 6 months?
We hope the program goes, for a very long time. But definitely we are already scheduling events for the 2026 calendar. So again, the need seems to be great. We weren't sure when we first started all of this, if we showed up, would any videos come? And we have been very pleased and happily surprised that, the need is great and we're able to provide that service.
That was all the questions that I had. Any last thoughts for residents? And again, to remind people that it's October 1st at Hartnell College all day. And we'll definitely, we've been sharing the flyers on social media. We'll resend out the flyers and try to keep people apprised of all the information that they might need.
Just a reminder that if they know somebody that could benefit from this, or even themselves, to look at the needs of what they would need, have it ready so that the process will be smooth and they can get in and get out and take care of this business. And also, just a reminder, it does start from 10 o'clock in the morning. It does end at 4 o'clock because the state has to come in, set up, and then actually take down and so forth. But we will be here. We're excited, and we're hoping that this briefing, as well as all the other outlets, will bring in a large crowd. It's the first time that Monterey County has offered it, and hopefully will not be the last, but we'll see how this goes. We're hoping to service as much community as possible. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Shernee, for coming and joining us today from Sacramento to help us spread the word.
Yes,
yeah,
thank
it's
you.
my pleasure. And if you, have questions about your documents, if we're able to process them or not, you can contact us ahead of time. Our phone number here at Secretary of State is 986-653-3595. So don't hesitate to give us a call. We can answer any questions that you have and let you know if you're on track to have those documents properly applicated.
Thank you both very much for sharing this important information.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Our next topic today, flu season is right around the corner, and it's time to start thinking about how we can protect ourselves. This past season was considered pretty severe, so we don't want a repeat of that. And so we're going to get some information from the experts. We're also going to find out about flu clinics. We're very pleased to have Dr. Mahendra Poudel, an infectious disease specialist with Salinas Valley Health, and Dr. Martha Blum, Director of Infection Prevention with Montage Health, and our colleague Karen Smith with the County of Monterey Health Department, who's going to talk about flu clinics. Thank you very much for being here. Doctors, I'd like you to start off with what we know about the flu season coming up. And of course, we want your expert advice on what people can do to protect themselves. Who would like to start?
Dr. Poudel, I think, prepared some things, so maybe he wants to start.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having us to speak in this very important topic for our community. Flu season is almost here. Usually the flu cases start picking up end of October to early November, and cases peak usually January to December to January, and then the flu season in California often lasts longer into the spring. And we are expecting, like every year, very large number of flu-related illness, hospitalization, and unfortunately, there will be flu-related death. So we still have some time to prepare to spread the word that flu season is coming and that you can be prepared in terms of getting vaccinated and knowing your risk of getting the flu and flu-related illness.
Yeah, I want to add to that a little bit, which is, again, it's tough to imagine on this sort of late summer day that these respiratory viruses are right at our doorstep, but autumn starts next week, and It's very typical to see the seasonal nature of influenza and RSV, particularly those continue to follow annual patterns, picking up in October and staying with us until sometimes as late as the end of April. So now is the window of time to start focusing on those prevention measures. So vaccination being top of the list, now is a good time for a flu vaccine because it gives you plenty of time to develop the necessary immunity after vaccination so that you'll have maximum protection when we start getting closer to the holiday season, Thanksgiving, and all the December holidays. Whereas Dr. Poudel pointed out that we see the peak amount of transmission of these respiratory viruses. So there's a lot that's the same this year. And the other thing that's the same is all of the other things in addition to vaccination that all of us can do to minimize the spread of respiratory viruses in our community. When you get vaccinated, you protect not only yourself, but you protect your family members and the vulnerable members of our community from getting those viruses. So the other
Dr. Blum, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've got some ambient noise here. If someone is not speaking, if they could mute themselves, that would be great because we want to hear what Dr. Blum has to say. Go ahead, please. Sorry, I had to insert.
No problem. So in addition to vaccination, the measures that we've all gotten really accustomed to after the COVID pandemic, including good hand hygiene, keeping our hands clean, and improving ventilation in indoor spaces. If you're particularly vulnerable to these viral illnesses and getting severe illness, then avoiding crowded indoor places is a good thing that you can do to decrease your risk. And of course, covering cough and sneezes and staying home when ill is really important. I think more of us have become accustomed to excusing ourselves from public gatherings when we have those cough and cold symptoms. And lastly, I want to say that we still recommend testing to distinguish between flu and COVID. And the importance of knowing that your virus is one of those is that there are treatments available. So for people who are at risk for severe illness and trying to keep them out of the hospital, there are antivirals available for flu and COVID. But the only way that you would know to start that is if you test and know which of these viruses is causing your symptoms. So testing as a way to get people to treatment is also recommended.
You know, thank you both for bringing up not only the vaccine, which is, you know, kind of a gold standard for prevention, but also just the basic your life prevention and taking better care. How would you respond to people who still there are people who are hesitant about vaccines in general and may look at the flu vaccine or the COVID vaccine all in the same group? And is there anything you can share about the efficacy of these flu vaccines or including testing to see what you've got?
So I'll go first, I guess. Yeah, I think out of all the tools we have to prevent these viral illnesses, vaccines are the most powerful and well-studied entities that are available out there. And especially, without getting too much political, I think there is enough science behind these vaccines that they do prevent illness and they do prevent death. That's what we're trying to do in our community, is to save lives and also make sure our healthcare force stays healthy so that they continue to taking care of sick people in the hospital. And the flu vaccine that we have available right now does include H1N1, which is one of the most virulent type of flu, and other commonly circulating flu variants. It's really hard to predict what the circulating strain is going to be in the upcoming flu season, but out of all the evidence we have, vaccines seem to be the most strong thing out there to keep yourself and your family as well as our community safe. The COVID vaccine is also now available, and it includes the most recent variant. So it's a booster that the circulating variant has been included, and over time, as Dr. Blum mentioned earlier, that the immunity for COVID also tends to wane, and just because you've had COVID vaccine or a booster in the past, or even had COVID, doesn't necessarily guarantee protection against COVID-19. So we are urging all our patients and community and healthcare workers to get vaccinated. We have already started vaccinating our patients in the clinic and in the hospital for our employees. We're also putting in very aggressive vaccination campaign at Salinas Valley Health involving medical staff to get the word out there that flu and COVID are there. They can put you in the hospital, make you sick. And COVID, unfortunately, it has been around throughout the year, causing a lot of hospitalization and even death. So if I can say one thing in this meeting, it would be please get your vaccine to keep yourself protected.
Thank you. And you were talking about the flu clinics for your staff. This is a great time to bring on Karen Smith to talk about the available flu clinics for the public. Karen.
We are really happy. We're really happy this year to bring a large number of clinics, and I did post the flyers in the chat. However, I'll share the list, and it's also available on our website. You can see, whoops, you can, yeah.
It's thinking.
It's thinking. It says I'm screen sharing while I'm in South Carolina.
Got it.
Who knows what. So October is a boo to the flu. Might as well. You can see that there are vaccinations available free. This is no cost. Anyone over the age of 6 months and older, just if minors have to be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian. But we have them from the King City to Marina, all the way up to Castroville. No, you don't have to make, there's no appointments, just show up and get your vaccine, and hopefully you'll have a healthier winter and fall. And of course, wash your hands. We like to tell people that. And it's available on the website.
And I must say that you guys have really great shot givers. Anyone who's needle phobic, I can tell you that they know what they're doing, and it's fast and as painless as possible.
And I also want to thank all of our partners who allow us to have vaccines in their locations. We also partner with some student nurses at Monterey Peninsula College and CSUMB. So this is more than just the health department. This is a community-wide effort to get more people vaccinated.
Thank you for this. And one last question. We were talking about prevention measures, and is it time for people to not put the mask aside, that really it's still okay and cool to wear a mask if you go somewhere? People are thinking, once COVID was over, I don't have to deal with the mask anymore. But really, now it could be like a fashion wellness statement.
Absolutely, it's okay to wear a mask. And particularly if you're adding that and layering that on top of these other prevention measures, it is something that will help reduce your risk of getting these viruses or spreading these viruses. So we certainly do encourage people who have any respiratory symptoms that if they must go out in public to be around other people, to consider wearing a mask to prevent transmission of the viruses. And again, if you yourself are very vulnerable and particularly prone to getting infected or at risk for having severe symptoms, then wearing a mask for your own protection is not only fashionable, but a very good health choice as well.
Please continue.
I also wanted to say I'm so appreciative of the county having the flu clinics, but I also want to mention that if people are interested in getting more than one vaccine, for maybe they want to get the updated COVID vaccine or the RSV vaccine if they're eligible, those are available at a number of commercial pharmacies and clinics. And so it is okay to get more than one respiratory virus vaccine at the same time. But if you want, you could go to one of the free county health clinics for your flu vaccine, and then maybe try your local pharmacy if you're eligible and want to also get the RSV or COVID-19 vaccine.
Well, and whatever we do, stay healthy and safe. And fingers crossed for not a terrible flu season.
Indeed. And we put into the chat website, montagehealth.org/respiratory, where there's a lot of information about these viruses, the symptoms, treatments, and links to where you can get vaccinated.
Thank you all for this great information. Really appreciate it, as always, you joining us today. And we're going to end the briefing on an up note. History will come alive this coming Saturday on September 21st at Rancho Days at the Adobe, and that is taking place in Salinas. It will be a day full of reenactments, live demonstrations, and lots of fun. Our libraries are taking part, so we're very pleased to have Joe Krajeski, our local history librarian. She's an archivist with the Monterey County Free Libraries, and James Perry with the Monterey County Historical Society to talk about this fantastic event. Thanks for taking part. I think people don't realize what a fun event this day at the Adobes is.
Thank you for having us. I am really excited to be a part of this event. This will be my first time experiencing this, but James gave me a tour of the facilities recently, and I am just so excited to see what he has cooked up for that day. I'm super excited. There's so much history then, and I know he has some fun plans, which I'll let him tell you about.
And James, this also kind of coincides with a big anniversary for, the county of Monterey. It's 100, its anniversary, the state's anniversary. There's just a lot to celebrate this year.
Very, very much so. Thank you, Maya. And Rancho Day is quite an amazing event. Now, please, may I share my screen, Maya? I have
Please
a few.
do.
Oh, very good. Okay, so please, everyone, it is critical to note that the event will take place on September the 27th. So not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday. And we really, we've been having this for well over 50 years. And this event truly honors and celebrates our Spanish and Mexican traditions in our region. And there will be live music and demonstrations, including blacksmithing and cowboy roping, and our historical buildings, including the one that you're seeing right now, the oldest building in the Salinas Valley, Don Jose Eusebio Baranda's Casa, will be open for as well. So additionally with that, our museum building that houses various historical vignettes, which allow us to travel you through time, through various historical eras of our history, as well. Those will be able, you'll be able to view those, in addition to viewing our beautiful 1880s Victorian library and reading room, which we dedicated last year. So the event itself is always fun. This year, we're going to continue our tradition of having an extensive, extraordinarily reasonably priced produce sale, and as well as a used book sale. One of the highlights of this that I absolutely love is the dancing charo horses. So this will be year number 3 that we're very privileged to have the dancing charo horses, which in my opinion really epitomizes the history of the Hispanic traditions here in our region. Now you're looking, I wanted to show you this. You're looking at the historical Eusebio Baranda Adobe as it appeared in 1887. And here we are. I wanted to show you a few of the images that were taken last year as well. Now, another thing that we're very proud of is we commenced in 2014, we commenced an ongoing tradition here of having ambassadors present from various historical and cultural commissions coming to us from parts far and wide throughout our region. Some of these institutions include the Big Sur Historical Society, the San Antonio Valley Historical Society, and the Monterey County Genealogy Society as well. So it's a fun day of dancing and historical music, historical reenacting. And it most certainly is a family affair. And we're just always so very, very pleased to welcome everybody into our campus this time of year. And for those of you who come hungry, we intend on having 2 very high-end food trucks as well as a loaded potato cellar. So this is, I'm showing you now a couple of our historical vignettes. This represents the Rancho era, the Victorian era, and an office suite from the 1920s. So integrating our specimens from our vast collections into these meaningful displays. And so for those of you who wish to spread the good word about us, just simply let everybody know. All they need to do is visit our website, mchsmuseum.com, or simply search for Monterey County Historical Society. And I have the event information resident on our homepage. So
And I have to apologize. I said the 21st and it's the 27th as I introduced you. So I want to make sure I correct that. Joe, how did the libraries get involved in this fantastic event?
Well, we've often worked closely with the Historical Society, and I was talking to James about other events and such, and he invited us to come along. And I'm also a part of the Monterey Region History Roundtable group. So I put a blast out to the group as well, and I managed to get some of my counterparts from other library systems in the area to come join me. And we're going to display some of our local history materials, and also going to celebrate that 175 years. We'll have the wonderful booklet that Nick and his staff created, which I'm very excited to show everyone. And yeah, it's going to be very exciting. And Monterey County Free Libraries and the Historical Society often works closely together. So this is just the first of many events that we'll be partnering together and doing fun events with. I'm very excited for it.
And
as an archivist, yeah, go ahead, please.
Well, for us, it's such a privilege having the Monterey County Free Library System here represented, because in the very early years of the Historical Society's existence, we were founded in 1933. A lot of our membership and volunteers, there was a lot of cross-pollination between the two way back when. And so
Still is.
evidences our wonderful roots. And again, another reason why I consider it a privilege to have the Monterey County Free Library System represented is the fact that it has to be, and I'm not just saying this because I'm biased because Monterey County, but it has to be the finest free library system on the West Coast, again established in 1912. And their local history collecting program has been so robust ever since then. So that's why it was such a delight meeting you, Joe, and we'll be working together for decades to come. So I like this.
So Joe, if people can go to this event, they can really get that in-person feel of, and see the vignettes, see the live demo, see the kind of what life might have been like. But if they were looking for documents, they can go to the Historical Society, but what can they find at the libraries if they were just trying to source something?
Absolutely. Well, we have a few different ways to access our materials, one of them being our digital archive, which we have on our website. I can probably post that somewhere, where there's over 3,000 images dating even before the 20th century, and letters and artifacts. If you want to view any of the materials in person, you're welcome to contact me to make an appointment, and we can go over what it is that you're seeking. And I am not afraid to branch out and partner with other organizations such as the Historical Society. I've often sent them requests too for materials and information. And yeah, the same goes for our Prunedale or Californiana collection. At our Prunedale branch, we have a number of, I think it's over 2,000 books, historical materials and artifacts. Again, appointment is necessary, but you can peruse the items in the catalog online as well. And yeah, it's very exciting. I'm trying to get more things accessible online and out to our patrons too. But you're welcome to contact any of the branches, and they'll put you in touch with me if they can't answer any local history questions. I'm happy to do it. I absolutely adore the history in this county. It's just been absolutely incredible. 175 years of amazing history. I'm proud to be a part of it now.
And so people can really kind of get that snapshot in time, especially with those vignettes. I love the vignettes that you were showing where it's an office of the time. Compared to an office now, you can go to that vignette and think about how great your office is right now, as opposed to what people had to work with back in the day. So again, thank you both for being here. We really look forward to hearing about how the event goes, and we hope for a really spectacular turnout for you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week, and we'll see you then.